back. AFR Talk Financial Issues. I'm Dan Celia. By the way, you may want to cue your call up. We're going to get to the phones here in the next segment. 866-300-9298. 866-300-9298. You're listening to Financial Issues, and we have with us, we've had on the first hour, I know there is Urban Family Network talk just joining us for the second hour. We've been talking to Twila Brace, president of CCHF. That stands for Citizens Council for Health Freedom. Her website is cchfreedom.org, cchfreedom.org, and make sure that you check that out. Sign up for her newsletter because it's important that you're getting these things and stay educated about it so we know how we can react. Twila, I've got so many other things. I got a whole list of questions, and I've only asked one of them because we got other things going. So I do want to have you back. And, of course, you're going to do a special that we're going to do on Obamacare. You're going to be part of that with us, which will be great and very informative to a lot of people I know. And I want to say to you on the air here that if there is a development in this whole healthcare issue that you need our listeners to react to, maybe it's signing a petition, maybe it's another urging of not joining the exchanges, whatever it might be, give us a call, and we'd love to have you on, even if it's short notice, to keep our listeners updated and informed. We sure would appreciate it.
Wonderful. Yeah, thank you.
So along those lines, and what are some of the things that if you could tell the American people that we must do as soon as possible, what would some of those things be?
Well, I think, I guess I would have them, we just came out with something called Refuse to Enroll, and it's just a one-pager, and we're trying to get out the news of its existence so that people will take it, look at it, and use it to tell their neighbors, their friends, make it available at county fairs and events, et cetera, to show why it's
Is that on your website, Twila?
It is.
cchfreedom.org.
Yep,
Okay.
and it's just a one-pager, and it says 4 reasons not to go into the exchange, and then it lists 6 action items, and it's just, refuse to enroll, so we have a new URL, refuse, and then the number 2, and then the word enroll.com. So refuse to enroll.com as a way to tell people, this is what you need to know about the exchange, this is why you shouldn't do it, and by not doing it, this is how we can protect the country against Obamacare. Because the exchange is as I said, it's the central piece of Obamacare. But the great thing about being the central piece is it also makes it the Achilles heel. So the exchange, if the exchange is unsuccessful across the country or in any state, it means that Obamacare is unsuccessful there. And we have a quote from an expert that it's on our website, and it says something to the effect of, if there isn't an exchange in all 50 states, it's either a go or a no-go for Obamacare. So, look at this as being a real opportunity to shut down Obamacare across the country. They are so worried that people will not go into the exchanges and that they will not be financially sustainable as a result, that shows you that we have an opportunity to keep people out of the exchanges, particularly those that they want in there the most, which are the young, the healthy, and the employed. And so employees should encourage their employers not to force them into the exchange. Now, here's an interesting thing just about that is recently in the news, and you said it, in your first hour, about this delay. The White House has now delayed the implementation of the employer mandate. That is interesting in many ways, one of which I don't think it's legal for the White House to just decide to delay something that the law says has to take place starting on January 1st. The second thing that's interesting is that they chose to do it at 6 p.m. at night in a blog posting, not a press release. Mm-hmm. But the third thing that's really interesting about that is that they say, the Treasury Department says in their blog post, there were 2 blog posts, in the Treasury Department's blog post, they say that employees' access to premium tax credits will not be affected by this delay. But the fact of the matter is the law says that you cannot get a subsidy on the exchange unless you don't have affordable coverage at your employer. But if the employer no longer has to report during the year 2014, and yet you're supposed to be able to get subsidies during the year 2014, how will that happen? And so, they're trying to underscore that people are going to be able to get subsidies for the higher cost of Obamacare because that's what they want. But the law says you can't get subsidies unless it's reported by your employer that you do not have coverage or you do not have affordable coverage. So there are some illegalities, I think, here, where the White House just thinks that they can go forward and do this. But, that taking that aside, my real point here is to just say, as an employee, start telling your employer, don't put me into that government exchange. I don't want government coverage. I don't want the government's new Medicaid program. I don't want exchange coverage. It's not private insurance, and your employer has been told it's private coverage that you will get in there, but it's not. It's government coverage. So, I think, having the truth of the matter, and we tried to lay it out on this easy-to-read one-page refuse to enroll form, should be helpful for people across the country to get the message out.
And that's something they can give to their employers as well, their human resources department, right?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Is that something that they can give to their human resources department as well?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and they need to do that.
Right.
Yeah. Boy, it is it's some great stuff. I hope we can visit again, but I hope that people will be motivated to do just that. And if staying out of the exchanges, which I don't have a problem staying out of, is what we've got to do, then we need to educate and motivate employers and people to do it. And I hope they'll get to your website. They can print that out and they can pass it out. It's cchfreedom.org, cchfreedom.org, and make sure you print that out.
It's the second thing. It's the second thing that is under. It's the second main bullet point under our Health Freedom Minute segment, and it's right on the home page. So blue and white, look for it. It's got it's just got refused to enroll with that exclamation point. So it should be easy to find.
Speaking of your health, what do you call that? A health
Freedom Minute?
Health Freedom Minute. You talk about HIPAA.
Yeah.
In the last couple of days. Is that? I guess that's out the door, right? I mean, really, is there even going to be HIPAA laws as we know them in 3 or 4 years?
What do you mean when you say it's out the door?
Well, I mean, I mean privacy. I mean true privacy.
Well,
yeah.
Privacy,
as far as
HIPAA has nothing to do with privacy. So.
I thought HIPAA was the privacy laws. No.
HIPAA has been called a privacy law, but that is like the grandest deception that the federal government has ever done, I think, because the fact of the matter is HIPAA opened up the medical record to 2.2 million entities when you add the HITECH Act, which is part of the stimulus bill, and HITECH stands for Health Information Technology. So, we don't have any privacy, but I think we can bring it back. And the fact of the matter is, the one thing good about HIPAA is it allows state legislators to pass real privacy laws, and then those laws are the ones that have to be followed. And so the state can really give you real privacy, real consent requirements. It can bring it back to what it used to be, and then you would be protected. So, HIPAA doesn't protect anyone, and we encourage people not to sign the HIPAA privacy form, and you can go to our website, the homepage right at the bottom, and see that alert. It shows you that the HHS says you don't have to sign it, and we encourage people to not sign it, and we are right now creating a rack card and a flyer that people can actually take to their doctor's office and inform their doctor's office at the time and not sign the form.
Well, aside from all of that, folks, the other thing you need to do is urge your legislators to defund every opportunity they get to defund part of Obamacare, and I think that we need to continue to put the pressure on. And it sounds like the state exchanges not getting involved in any of these exchange programs is going to be a great start in seeing this change dramatically and maybe going away. But
well,
great information.
Dan, there will be the biggest mass media campaign since the election. They have millions and millions and millions of dollars. They're working with Planned Parenthood. They're trying to get the NFL, the NHL, and the NBA to promote Obamacare. Enroll America is rolling out their enrollment campaign. There will be parties and events and door-to-door knocking to try and get people into the exchange. We have our Refuse to Enroll campaign. We're trying to put up billboards and other mechanisms online, et cetera, to get people to see the other side, because they are going to try and essentially take over take over all your mind space on this issue through these millions and millions of dollars that they have for outreach and enrollment. And we're going to try our best to, give people the reasons not to enroll as a counter campaign to theirs. But this is going to be campaign season for Obamacare.
It sure is. And I talked about the NBA and the NFL and how important that was, and why the Obama administration is obviously appealing to them, because they have such a huge appeal to the masses. And, it is great advice. I just hope that we can get the message out. I'll do everything I can to encourage people not to enroll, to keep checking with your website, because I know that you're going to continually have more resources for us on your website that we can use to spread the word. And we've got to get this word spread to everywhere we can, including we need to educate our representatives, our legislators. We need to educate them, because they need it as much as anybody, because too many of them have no idea what this bill is all about. And we need to do that as well. cchfreedom.org is the website. cchfreedom.org. If you're not getting her e-news, Twila Brace, president of CCHF, her e-news, and staying informed on Obamacare, you're making a big mistake. But listen, folks, this is an opportunity for us to take a proactive role. Don't expect that somebody else listening today is going to do some of the things that Twila mentioned about refusing, signing and passing out literature, refusing to get involved in state exchanges. You've got to get involved, and you've got to help everybody understand this. I hope you'll do that. It's important for the next generation as well as this generation. And the economy, again, I got to bring it back to the economy of America. This will bankrupt. Well, we're already headed towards bankrupt. This will definitely push us over the cliff. This is going to bankrupt this nation. We cannot afford Obamacare. Twila Brace, president CCHF. Website is cchffreedom.org. Twila, thank you so much for being a part of the program. We sure appreciate it. And we'll look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Wonderful. Bye-bye.
Thank you.